7 o'clock in the morning? That's too early. But God damn it, you know I'm gonna do it for you. So hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be a very long-winded video. It's gonna be me ranting a lot. But with the announcement a few hours ago that we're gonna be getting a Smash Direct in a few days, I sat here and thought to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. I've had ideas for prediction videos, but I've never executed them once. Not one time. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, why don't I just do that? Instead of just sitting here just contemplating it, why don't I just get it done? And this is the first time in a while where I've actually sat down and just made the video day of that I created. Most of the time, it takes me a few days to get my thoughts together and really plot things out and really map things out. But today, it took me under an hour, so this is going to be very long-winded, very messy. I'm going to edit this down best I can, so please bear with me best you can. I know it's going to be very, very, and a lot of repeating and stuff like that, but I'll get through it best I can without doing so, which is probably not going to happen. And I also apologize for my laptop screaming at me for air. I can't really do anything about that, but that's what's going to happen. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and hop in. So obviously, you've read the title, you've seen the thumbnail. This is a predictions video for the upcoming Smash Ultimate Direct coming this Wednesday on the 8th of the 8th month, which is August. I'm like, what month is it? So why don't we hop into it? I'm gonna make the predictions as I go, and that's gonna lead into each topic. So instead of just sitting here wasting time for another whole minute, why don't I just go ahead and hop into it? The first thing being that my first prediction is gonna be that this direct here is going to be focused solely on features. Like this only makes so much sense. Everybody knows this. This direct is going to be focused solely on the features of Smash, like what modes there's going to be available. Like, you know, they're going to bring back probably for fun and for glory, most likely. If they didn't bring back for glory, I'd honestly be surprised, unless they call it a different name. But 1v1 online, what else did people do in Smash other than that? You know, if you didn't have if you weren't bringing people over constantly or going to local tournaments or whatever, you were playing for glory as for practice, and that it would just make zero sense for them to bring that back, especially since they're going to be implementing Nintendo Online by the time that the game launches, or even way before that, like a month or two before that. So obviously we're gonna have online capabilities, and the best way to do that would be to implement for glory and and for fun, whatever. If you casual, I'm a casual at this point, you know. I don't really I'm not that competitive with it, but I do get my practice in, okay. I'm nobody to sleep on, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyhow, yeah, so they're going to be bringing back for glory. They're also going to be probably most likely bringing back other features, such as, you know, the basic stuff that we have from Smash 4. They're going to be porting a lot of that over, like the Master Hand and the Crazy Hand missions and stuff like that. That would make a lot of sense to me personally. Classic mode was really cool. I thought that was really, really neat, and I don't know if it's going to be classic mode still, or if it's going to run by a new name, but that's most likely what's going to end up happening. Because that right there was honestly the single player experience for Smash 4. So if you're going to do something like that, then I'm all for it, honestly, unless they do something new. But I do predict that they are going to be just doing a lot of porting. I mean, they're obviously going to be doing a lot of touch-ups here and there for each of our modes here, but they are probably going to end up coming back. I mean, I see no reason as to why they wouldn't, unless they got something whole new planned. But I feel more as if we're going to be getting stuff like classic mode and whatnot back, because they're going to give us a way to unlock characters, multiple ways to unlock characters. And the best way to do that would be either the classic mode that they have here, or they're going to bring back the classic mode that they had in Melee, and the adventure mode, or whatever they called it in Melee. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't play Melee because I never owned Melee myself. I did play it, but I never owned it myself. So just a warning, I'm not that in depth on Melee. Just a warning ahead of time. But yeah. But anyway. So that's how I see it, because after only a few years, I feel like the best route to go as far as giving us modes and things to do would be to port over the best things that we got from the previous game. And that would be classic mode and stuff like that. We're also going to be obviously it wouldn't be Smash without like all-star mode and training mode and all the other mini games like the sandbox batting thing. If that was that a thing in Smash 4? I believe it was. Unless I'm crazy, but I'm definitely positive it was. But anyway, so we're getting a lot of returners. One thing I really do hope for, and that I do think is a very likely possibility, since they did seem to integrate a lot of the a lot of the stages and whatnot from 3DS, I think they would also like to. I'm hoping and thinking that they would have liked to import the best thing, one of the best things about Smash 3DS, which was Smash Run. Smash Run was really goddamn cool, and it would make zero sense not to have had this on the main console, which it didn't. On the Wii version, we didn't get Smash Run, and that was very unfortunate. We got Smash Tour. I'm praying to God that we don't get Smash Tour back. I know that Sakurai listens. Sakurai hears us. You know, he still does what he wants, but I know he hears us. And I can guarantee you, he knows for a fact that Smash Tour was not good. Smash Tour was not good. It was not played by anyone, maybe once or twice once in a blue moon, but Smash Tour was not good, and it's not worth bringing back. So I know he knows that, and so there's no way in hell that they're bringing Smash Tour back. And I swear to God, if they do, just smite me where I sit right now. Do it, please don't. I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 first, please. But there's no way they're bringing back Smash Tour. But if they were to bring something back, it would be Smash Run. Smash Run was actually incredible, and I actually had a great time with it. That's where I am with those. Now, I know for a fact, I can promise you guys that we're not getting another subspace ever. That's done. Like, it was a one-time deal. We're not getting that back. We know this, though. We know this. I'm just putting that out there for those who still have hope. No, don't. Trust me. We're not getting another subspace emissary. As incredible as that would be, I can't imagine poor Sakurai through that much more stress. And creating something like a story for all these characters to fit into and everything like that, there's just no way. There's just no way. And another reason why I believe that would be in Brawl. Back in Brawl, you were able to unlock every single character through Subspace Emissary, I believe. And I mean, you didn't have to, but that was an option, and that was the best way to collect all characters. And Sakurai said that you may start off with the base characters from like the 64 or whatever, and then people will collectively come as you play continuously. I doubt that means that playing continuously means playing through a story continuously. I think he means continuously as in playing through the modes and like the classic mode and the events and stuff like that that's going to be coming to the game. So that's where I'm at with that. So we are not getting a Subspace Emissary. We are getting a lot of different modes and stuff, sure enough, but not a story mode, no Subspace Emissary, nothing like that. So don't get your hopes up for that. But I do kind of have one prediction that may be kind of out there that I just came up with now, and that's that we're going to get more events, you know, like more live events. And who knows what that could be, you know, but as somebody who's, you know, been paying a lot of attention to like ARMS and Splatoon 2, it would be very neat to have some kind of like events, you know, or tournaments and stuff like that. We can't have one video where I don't forget to turn off my speaker. That's incredible. Give me 1 second. So events, I'd like to think that we're gonna get more live events to keep the game alive a little bit more. I mean, not that Smash itself ever needs live events to keep itself alive. That's unnecessary. But I like the idea of I do like the effort that ARMS went through to keep it alive. You know, it had constant events and parties and stuff like that, and little inside parties and stuff like that, and that was really unique to me. I really like that idea. It's a shame for ARMS. It's a shame for ARMS, but that's a video for another day. But the idea of live events, like tournaments and whatnot, for maybe some kind of prizes or rewards in game would be really fun. Really fun. Like in the ARMS tournament things, or the ARMS events, you would get stuff like badges, and that would earn you more coins, and with those coins you could get more ARMS. Although I hope to God they don't implement something where you have to buy characters. That would make me scream. if I had to buy Cloud, but they wouldn't do that. They would make characters accessible to everybody. So anyway, but live events could possibly be a thing that could keep the game up and running for even longer than we imagine, depending on what those events are. Or we may completely ignore those events, who knows? But if they're anything like Splatfests, it'll definitely keep the game alive, even though it doesn't need it. But it's just theory. Anywho, so that's my first primary prediction. My second primary prediction, and sorry that I'm moving a little faster than usual, it's because I do tend to ramble, and I have a lot to get through. So, let's keep going here. So, my second prediction is that we're going to be getting a few Echo Fighters. Definitely a few Echo Fighters, more than one, because they're more or less carbon copies of their originals, but they're different enough to, why this is the whole reason why they're called Echo Fighters, and we can definitely expect at least more than one. And a few Echo Fighters that I'm actually very much expecting are Shadow the Hedgehog, 100%, no doubt about it. Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be an Echo Fighter. You are not convincing me otherwise. We are most likely going to... There's a good chance we could get Ninten over Ness, with Ninten as a very... As the beginning of Earthbound, or as the beginning of the Mother series, I don't understand why we wouldn't. Or as the beginning of the Mother series, excuse me. It makes so much sense to me. And he looks very much like Ness, to the point where they're indistinguishable. So, Ninten over Ness isn't impossible. And giving him a little bit of a different setup than Ness is more than easy, I'm sure. Like, I've never played Earthbound Beginnings, but I don't think it's out of the ballpark to have Ninten over Ness. Another one that I have is Dixie Kong over Diddy. As an Echo Fighter, it makes a lot of sense. Donkey Kong doesn't have enough reps, so if we're not going to get King K. Rool, why not Dixie Kong as an Echo Fighter over Diddy Kong? If it doesn't add up, you let me know. And then one of my reaches that I could potentially see is Jean over Bayonetta, or whatever her sister's name. It may not be Jean. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've played Bayonetta 2 and 1, but they are the same person. They are the same person, and it would just be a shame not to have her as an Echo Fighter over Bayo. But not that I care that much about Bayo altogether. I mean, I've played both Bayonetta 1 and 2. I definitely am going to get 3, but it's not like one of my favorite series of all time. It is fun, though. It's a really good game. And if we're going to get multiple Echo Fighters over multiple characters, Jean over Bayonetta can hurt. If her name is Jean, please do not hesitate to correct me. I am so sorry if I got it wrong, but I did not check before I got into this, and I know I have a lot of editing to do tonight, so I wanted to hop into it. But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't hesitate. Moving on. We are going to get uno character reveal. We're going to get one character reveal, and that is going to be the end of the direct. Obviously, it's just, that's how it works. That's how we know. We know this. We are fully aware. If we got more than one character, we may not be able to live at all. I mean, if it was anything like the direct with Lucas, Roy, and Ryu, no, we're not living. We're not living. I couldn't even imagine. But he's told us not to expect too much. I'm not going to get my hopes up and expect too much. I expect one character. And then that's the last character that we're going to know about until we get the game in a few months. And then after the game comes out, we may get maybe one or two more characters. And then that's going to be the end of the roster. Maybe not even that. Who knows? Maybe one more character after that. Don't get hopes up. But we are obviously a whole direct focus around Smash. And we didn't get a character. Everybody would lose their minds. So we're absolutely getting one character, knowing Sakurai. He's going to hit us up with that one more thing. And the internet's going to explode. So who is it? Well, I meant to make a list about this in my notes, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just, off the top of my head, give you the characters that I have definitely, absolutely given up hope for. Every indie character. We will not be getting any type of indie character for this game. Based on the roster, it's not happening. So Shovel Knight, Shantae, and all that, it's a no-go. I would still be I would be very much impressed. I would be very happy with them. No complaints. But is it likely that they're gonna come? No. Not to me, not personally. We're not gonna get an indie character ever. So you Sans fans, sit down, sit down, cause it's not happening. So I have my realistic wants, and then I have my I have my unrealistic wants, which are only 2 characters, and then I have my realistic guesses. I only have 2 unrealistic wants because all the other ones are, they've been, one, I guess they're pretty overwanted, I guess. I mean, one of them that I want is overwanted. The other one I have not heard anybody ask for, but it's who I want. It's not, this isn't necessarily a prediction. The other ones are going to be, the realistic guesses are going to be my predictions, but the unrealistic wants are just what I'm hoping for. Just so you know where I stand. So, if you know me, if you know anything about me, you know damn well that I want Sora. It's that obvious. The other unrealistic want is not so easy to guess. You have to know me pretty well. But as far as Square Enix stands, Square Enix is huge. One of I'd say it's a gaming industry staple at this point. It's so well known, and obviously because of Final Fantasy, strictly because of Final Fantasy. But well, not strictly, but it would not hurt, much like Capcom, to have another Square Enix rep. You know, we have Mega Man and Ryu for Capcom, and I just think about that strictly, and I don't think it's that far out to ask for another Square Enix rep. And I'm sure there's plenty of other candidates that would be more fitting, but Sora's who I want. And if we are likely to get any other Square Enix rep, it would probably be Sora or another Final Fantasy character. But if you can name me one other Final Fantasy character that stands out besides Cloud, don't say Titus. Don't say Titus. Don't say Titus. But if you can name me somebody else, let me know. Sora would be the next Square Enix rep, in my opinion. But it's unlikely. The next unlikely guess that I would like to make would be Joker from Persona 5. Persona in general is a pretty well-known series. It got its popularity just skyrocketed thanks to the existence of Persona 3, and just from there, they knew where to take the Persona series, and they've done pretty well. I mean, not to say that Persona 1 and 2 were bad or anything, but I know nothing about them. I couldn't even name you one character from Persona 1 or 2. Mostly because I haven't looked into it, but I can tell you right now I don't have any interest in looking into it. As far as the last 3 series in the game, or the last 3 games in the series go, wow, I botched that. They are pretty well known. Atlus is a great company, and them working with Nintendo is not out there, considering that they did a crossover of Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. I don't know if you guys forgot about that game or not, but that did happen, and it was pretty good. And you know, the Shin Megami Tensei series, which Persona is a part of, is pretty well known, and it's not the craziest thing, I would say, to ask for somebody like Joker, especially with the existence of somebody like Bayonetta in this game, who is, you know, known for swearing and being in such a darker toned series, with its comedic moments, which is exactly like Persona. And Persona has more games, probably more well known than Bayonetta 2. So, just saying. Even though I call it an unrealistic guess, I don't think it's an unrealistic addition. Same with Sora. I'm gonna leave it at that. Those are my unrealistic wants / predictions. Now for my realistic guesses, and this is where we're gonna. This is the meat of the video right here, and I'm sorry it took so long to get there, but this is where we are. So, realistic guesses. I'm gonna start with something simple, something to ease into it. I think Isabelle. With Animal Crossing as such a big series, it's such an important series to Nintendo's history, I don't think that just Villager alone is enough reps, and it would make so much sense to have the vice mayor, the mayor's right hand man, as another rep for Animal Crossing. It adds up too perfectly, and I would not complain. Isabelle's great. She's not really a fighter though, but they can figure it out. Villager's not a fighter. I mean, it makes sense, but Villager's not a fighter. So, but Isabelle. I'm not that out there about Isabelle. Unless she's a trophy and I completely missed it, you can stop me if I'm wrong. Oh, and I forgot to mention that, we do have our typical guesses like Springman or the new Fire Emblem rep from the new Fire Emblem game coming next spring, and the new Pokemon rep. But with the new Pokemon rep, I think that's kind of unlikely because with the addition of like all the Pokemon that we've had so far, we don't have that limit of 6 Pokemon anymore. So, I mean, it could happen, but I don't see it happening anymore. I don't see another Pokemon coming into the game, especially when their primary focus right now is Pokemon Let's Go and not a new gen or anything like that. So, color me wrong, but I don't think we're getting a new Pokemon rep. But a new Fire Emblem rep is not out there, or it's not too far out there. Neither is Pyrrha or Mithra or Rex. But anyway, I should have mentioned that before. I meant to mention that before I got into my realistic guesses. Those are part of my realistic guesses, but those are over guesses. Those are what we guessed. Those are what we guessed to come into the game first. So just keep those in mind. Springman, Nuffy, whatever. Anyway, moving on with more realistic guesses. Chrom, he deserves a spot. He's still not a trophy, and he deserved more of a spot than Lucina did, frankly, because he was the main character of Fire Emblem Awakening. The main character wasn't even you, it was Chrom. You just happened to be following in Chrom's story. I mean, it makes sense as to why Lucina was picked instead of him, because I don't want to spoil Awakening for anybody that hasn't played it, so I'm not going to say anything, but just know that Chrom was the main character of Awakening, not Lucina, and not you, quote-unquote, Robin. So, Chrom as an addition is not too far-fetched in my opinion. Well, I mean, it is kind of late, but I still have hope for him, and I don't think it's that crazy. Will we get it in this next direct? Doubt, but who knows? But the characters that we might get as Fire Emblem reps as part of this next direct, Alm or Celica. If you don't know who they are the main characters of Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia, however you pronounce it. And people have said that this game has debatably one of the best stories in the Fire Emblem series. And I fully believe it. I've watched a lot of it. I've been wanting to get it myself, and from what I have seen, it's a fantastic game. And not only that, it is a remake of an older game with touch-ups here and there on almost everything. But, as Fire Emblem reps go, if you're going to pick somebody like Marth, it makes sense to also pick somebody from a game that's been in the Fire Emblem series forever. And Alm and Celica, I don't know if they were in the original versions, because I haven't played the original version. But for this, as far as the previous entry in the series, it's not too out there to have one of them. I'm leaning towards Celica. Celica's a good girl, and she is absolutely befitting to take on like Lucina and all that. As we need more females. Okay, we need more females. Just saying. We can never have enough. Leaning towards Celica more, but that's where I am with that. If we're not gonna get Lyn, Celica. Celica is probably the main one. Alm is maybe there too, because he's a main character as well, maybe as an Echo, I don't know, but Celica is what I'm leaning towards, and I would not be opposed to that, and it makes a lot of sense. Moving on, Tails, Eggman, and Silver, not all 3 of them, but one of them. Sega, as sad as the Sonic series is right now, Sonic the Hedgehog series is right now, besides Mania and Mania Plus, Sonic is an icon. And obviously Sonic doesn't do everything alone, and Tails has always been there. Tails is a day one boy. I would just be baffled if he didn't make it in. With Shadow as an Echo Fighter, which makes a lot of sense. Tails obviously can't be an Echo Fighter of Sonic. He doesn't fight like Sonic does. He has his own movesets, his own, unique thing about him, which is that he's kind of a genius. He flies with 2 tails, which would be his B, whatever. And he's just unique enough and important enough to get a spot on that roster. And this goes for Eggman. Sonic had to have somebody to fight, and you could say that about a lot of the characters, but you can't add Gygus from Earthbound. And Dr. Wily didn't fight himself necessarily, so Sonic had a rival, or not a rival, I'm sorry, an enemy, and that was Eggman. Eggman has more than earned a spot on the roster. If you know Sonic, you know who Eggman is. And you know how important Eggman is to the Sonic series, and you know that he's a staple he's a pretty big staple of gaming, I'd say. So I think he's pretty deserving of a spot. I don't know why I said Silver. No, I don't think Silver has a chance at all. Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. No, Silver doesn't have a chance at all. Knock Silver out of here. Knuckles is an assist trophy, apparently, so we're not going to get Knuckles, but Silver is even less likely than anybody. So I'm sorry about, I don't know why I listed Silver on my notes here. That's my bad. But anyway, that's where we are with that. So unless you could think of another Sega rep, like, what's her name from Knights? Which would make sense, but she hasn't gotten a new game in decades, and it's kind of a shame, frankly. But then again, you look at Kid Icarus, but then again, it's Sakurai's game. So, anyway, I digress. No Silver, but Tails or Eggman would be very likely and very possible. My next prediction would be Waddle Dee from Kirby. He's too important. And, you think of Waddle Dee, or I'm sorry, King Dedede as Kirby's primary enemy. And Waddle Dee is his right-hand man, and Waddle Dee's, well, not right-hand man necessarily. No, he's not even that. Waddle Dee's a good guy. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. But, as Sakurai's child, and with the release of Star Allies, it's not that out there to think that Waddle Dee could be introduced. You know, I'm sure there's bigger, badder characters that they can introduce, like Dark Meta Knight as an Echo Fighter, maybe, or, one of the main guy from, Squeak Squad. I can't remember his name right now. But I think that, you know, as Sakurai's child, Waddle Dee has finally earned that spot, and it'd be a shame not to get him. That's all I'm going to say on that, to keep things short, because we're getting kind of long right now, and I apologize for that. My final prediction, and probably one of the most out there, but kind of likely, and very possible, is Geno from Super Mario RPG. Now, I haven't finished Super Mario RPG, but I did get far enough to actually meet Geno. Geno's an excellent character. He's great. He's unique. You know, he got a very powerful acknowledgement in the last game by getting a Mii Fighter outfit. So, too many Mario reps is not a thing. I mean, come on. What's one more? Throw us Paper Mario, even. Let's be real. So, Geno is my final prediction. And with that, that does it for my predictions on this next Direct. And this is going to be very minimally edited. This is going to be very minimally edited because it's very long, and I want to get this out there as soon as possible, and I'm really sorry about that. But I'd like to think that I got my idea across. I got what I wanted to let you guys know out there, and I can only hope that you guys agree with me. But if you don't, let me know why. Tell me in the comment section below. Tell me what you think I want to know. I actually really do want to know your guys' predictions, and I want to know what you guys can debunk from my predictions or add on to. I want it all. Hit me with everything you got. I'm not even kidding. Do it right now. Anyway, I want to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and I hope to see you guys this Wednesday for my reaction of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I will see you guys for the next video.